In this episode, we look at the topic mixtures. Hi boys and girls, at the end of this week's lesson, you should be able to demonstrate that a mixture is made up of two or more substances, classify some mixtures as solutions, complete at least 4 of the 8 activities at the learning centers. Mr. Allen, a well-known chef, gathered ingredients to make a birthday cake for his nephew. He started mixing sugar and butter. He used a manual whisker and whisked them until they were soft and fluffy. Then he added the beaten eggs and blended well. He continued blending until the mixture turned white and creamy. Eventually, Mr. Allen completed the mixture by adding the other ingredients: 6 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar, 8 eggs, 2 cups of butter, 4 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 cups of milk, and 4 teaspoons of vanilla essence. Just like the mixture Mr. Allen made with the other ingredients, there are natural mixtures everywhere on planet Earth. The sea is a mixture of sand and water, while the air is a mixture of gases. When you observe soil, it is also a mixture of rock particles, air, water, decayed plants, and animals. Based on the activities that Mr. Allen did to combine the ingredients, one can conclude that a mixture is a physical combination of two or more materials. Materials in mixtures can be separated. For example, a mixture of cauliflower, carrots, and broccoli can be separated because we can remove the broccoli and carrots and leave the cauliflower only. These ingredients do not completely mix. Therefore, they can be easily separated back to their original properties since they do not change when mixed. A solution is an example of a mixture. In some mixtures, one of the substances will dissolve in the other. The substance that does not dissolve is the solvent. The substance that dissolves is called the solute. For example, in a mixture of sugar and water, the sugar is the solute and the water is the solvent. The mixture of sugar and water is called a solution. There are 2 categories of mixtures. One, homogeneous, that is, the parts are mixed together and cannot be distinguished from each other. For example, soft drinks are a mixture of sugar, carbon dioxide, and water. Then we have heterogeneous mixtures. The parts are mixed together and can be distinguished from one another and are easily separated. For example, a mixture of rice and peas. Engage. Go on a mixture hunt and identify at least 3 examples of mixtures in your environment. So we had the sugar and water, we had the rice and peas. Anything else? We had the vegetables, right? Sometimes we have carrots, cabbage, a little lettuce, maybe a little red cabbage and so on. All of those being put together to have, a salad there with our Sunday dinner. Explore. Access the internet and download and view videos on mixtures. Explain. Use a flowchart to explain the concept mixture. Mixture, here we have homogeneous, that means all the particles are the same, and heterogeneous, where we have things coming together but we can easily separate them. All right, so salt and water, everything looks the same, but in soup, we can see the big dumpling over here, we can see the piece of yam, we can see the piece of pumpkin sometimes. So look for those around the house. Evaluate. Complete at least 4 of the 8 activities at the learning centers. Here we go with the word link at the Faye Ellington Center. Write a paragraph explaining why each of the following is categorized as a heterogeneous mixture. So here we have the what? Salad. We spoke about that just now. And remember that heterogeneous means that we can easily see that they're made up of different parts. Okay. So smog is another example. Smog is a combination of smoke and particulates along with fog. Also, we have soil. Now, in soil, we know that we have the inorganic components of soil and the organic components of soil. The organic components of soil being anything that is like humus, right? So dead and dying plants and animal matter in the soil. Let's go with the inorganic parts now. We're thinking of the air. We're thinking of the stones and other such materials that break down over time. We move now to the SelfLink in the Dr. Agri Irons Center. It says, make a journal expressing your views on the use of mixtures in your environment. NatureLink at the Dan Macaulay Center. Collect salt and a glass of water. Pour a teaspoon of salt in the glass of water. Now use the teaspoon to stir the mixture. Allow the mixture to settle. Observe the mixture after it has settled. Explain why we were not able to see the salt. Remember that we can use the resources available to find out if you can get the salt back to its solid state. Now, this one, we need to go back and look at solute and solvent to help to explain the salt and water situation. And if we use the process of evaporation, we would be able to do what? Take away the water, and then we would have the residue there being the salt. Okay. In some countries, that is how they actually produce sea salt. So we have the seawater coming into salt lakes or ponds that are very close to the shore, and then they allow for evaporation to take place, and then what is left there will be the sea salt. Let's go to the NumberLink. And the NumberLink here from the Albert Einstein Center says, use the internet to assist you in answering the questions, then write true or false on each space provided. It is recommended that hand sanitizers should be used if it contains between 70 to 80% alcohol. True or false? So here we have 75% alcohol and 25% alcohol. Is that true or false? Okay. So if it is that we have 75% alcohol, what is the rest of it that's in the bottle? We need to think about that as well. Okay. So something else must be there to make the whole. All right. PictureLink from the Edna Manley Center. Design a menu board showcasing meals that are mixtures. So again, we can quickly think of the rice and peas, and we can think of the vegetable, the salad there with our red cabbage, regular cabbage, or shredded, and those would be shredded. We have our lettuce. We have carrots that could be cut up nice in strips and so on and added to that. Okay. MusicLink from the Jimmy Cliff Center. Now we want to write song lyrics about the concept mixture. Or SocialLink from the Mary C. Cole Center. Use a device to take a photograph of the menu board created and share it with your classmates via WhatsApp. So the BodyLink from the Rex Nettleford Center. Write yes or no under the appropriate heading for each mixture on table 1. An example is done for you. So here we have the mixture, we have solid, liquid, and we have honey and tea. Okay. We have milk and chocolate. We have oatmeal and raisins. So solids, yes. Liquid, no. Solid, yes. Liquid, no. Then we have sugar and water, water and salt, sugar, lime, and water. So to wrap up this episode, we looked at mixtures and we were able to demonstrate that a mixture has two or more substances, we were able to classify some mixtures based on the activities that were done. And we know that a solution is an example of a mixture, right? And in some mixtures, we have one substance that dissolves into another. And then we went on to talk about what's a solvent versus a solute and all of that. So go over, review as best as is possible, look back at the examples so that we have a better understanding of the concept of mixtures.